real stories from the team in Northern California's country radio station. Jen, Dano, and Amber and Tanner in the morning. You are inside Froggy 92.9.
And we're actually inside Froggy 92.9.
Yeah, can you believe it, guys?
Well, sort of. We're in KSRO.
Where we always record it. We do record in KSRO, but it's the same building as Froggy 92.9, KFGY, Healdsburg, Santa Rosa, K276, DT. We don't have that translator anymore.
Wow.
Welcome back, everybody.
It feels nice to be back and see all of your faces.
If you're listening at home, where you always listen, don't listen on the road. Listen at home. No, listen on the road, too. We are back in the studio together. We've been Zooming it for a long time. We've worked on some new protocols and some new safety features. We are distanced here in the KSRO studio. We're waxing and wiping down all the mics and all that good stuff. And we just, frankly, the Zoom sucks. We did it because we had to do it. The Zoom sucks.
Yeah, especially because
our Zoom apps suck.
It's like everyone else with Zoom right now where you'll be talking to someone, then someone's like about to jump in, but that person isn't down. You're like, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, okay. I am so sick of Zoom calls because we have to do them outside of the podcast as well, and just let's forget about Zoom. Zoom can go to rest with the rest of 2020.
R.I.P.
It's hilarious to me that they can transport particles. Like, they can't transport a whole person, but they can transport particles. They can do a lot of crazy stuff with science.
Like, I can send you my finger?
Are you talking about Zoom can do this?
I'm saying science. I'm saying science can do some pretty incredible stuff. We can literally put human beings on the moon. We can put robots on Mars that we can remote control.
You can clone a sheep.
We can clone a sheep.
That's one thing that I know.
Cannot get a video call to be on the same timing as a phone call was in 1965. 1965, real-time phone call. 2020 is a little bit of a lag.
That one time I couldn't get on the Zoom chat, I cried. I was so frustrated. And everybody was like yelling at me, and I was like, I can't
and this
do it.
This is probably the first podcast in like 6 weeks that my connection just doesn't fail randomly.
Tanner's just going to have to get up and walk out for no reason at some point.
And everyone goes, where'd Tanner go? And
I'll text him.
And I'll just yell at my computer.
Hold on, guys, I'm buffering.
No, one time he was on, and he thought he wasn't on, and he was like, bleep, 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 and bleep. This thing never works. I was like, Tanner, we can all hear you.
I apologize for that.
I apologize for that.
So what I was thinking we could do today, since we're kind of coming off of this quarantine period, at least as far as the podcast is concerned, complete isolation. Who knows? We may have to go back. But at least for now, it seems to be stable for us. I thought maybe everybody could share one story because it's kind of a quarantine story. Kind of you're like, oh, God, I'm at home. This is my quarantine story. This is my moment where I realized that I was trapped at the house. That just started going stir crazy, or maybe you ran out of stuff, or maybe you spent $400 on toilet paper and paper towels.
$400?
I spent $400.
This one did.
I don't know if I just forgot or what, but $400?
$385 on toilet paper and paper
you got
towels.
That TP for life.
So
forget a wine club. You're in the TP club.
I just finally got into that stash. And
He already had a stash.
Yeah.
And spent that money. He just started using.
I know.
The $400 worth of. That's insane.
So I literally texted Tanner. I don't know if you haven't seen Avengers, you won't know. But in Avengers Endgame, at the end when they're losing to Thanos, Doctor Strange goes, "We're in the end game now," because they're getting their butt kicked and it's about to be over. So I literally texted Tanner when I finally got to my quarantine $400 stash of toilet paper. I was like, "We're in the end game now."
Oh, God.
The moment. Would you think you could come up with a story like that off the top of your head? Or
mine was already
unprepared?
kind of quarantine
Okay.
related.
I could
Yeah,
certainly
we
try.
I'll start with one. And this is one I've been waiting to tell because I just didn't want to, Zoom wouldn't have served it well. This serves to explain a little bit about who I am as a person, which you already know.
Extra.
And also is a little bit speaks to what Melanie, my wife, and children have to deal with in living with me and being cooped up with me for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Oh, jeez.
So one night,
When you put it like that.
I get...
I should have checked on Melanie more. I didn't.
I get home from work, And this is once I kind of started going into the station again. But again, we're all distanced. We're wiping down the studio. We're, nobody's seeing each other. And so I get home, and frankly, I don't know if you've ever had the occasion to like look at me from the outside when I'm working in the studio, but I talk to myself.
Oh, yeah, and you kick your feet.
I kick my feet.
I've seen you do push-ups.
I do push-ups.
You do vocal warm-ups?
Vocal warm-ups.
I've literally had to yell at you to be quiet.
I talk to myself. There's voices, there's everything, because I'm trying to draw out some sort of creativity or emotion or whatever and try to make it like, especially commercials. I always talk back to commercials and I always do a voice. It's literally me here at the station like by myself, like, hello darkness, my old friend. Like this is literally just weeks and weeks of this. I'm starting to get, kind of out of it. So I get home and Melanie has made these bright orange biscuits. And I go, what are those?
As you would. As anyone would.
She's got a whole tray of them. She's like, hey, how you doing? And then didn't say anything. There's just these like 16 bright orange biscuits sitting out. And I was like, oh, taking a little trip to Cheddar Bay, are we? And she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
I'm like, those are the Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh, dude. Love Red Lobster.
Those are
Someone's excited.
But you know what I'm talking about? The Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I know they exist. I've never actually been to Red
They're
Lobster.
amazing.
Are missing
What?
out.
We're going to Red Lobster for my B-Day. Jen's coming. Not really where I wanted to spend my B-Day, but I'm doing it for you, Jen.
Thanks.
It's Bisquick and it's cheese, and that's all it is. But they're very good. They're cheese Bisquick biscuits. That's what they are. So I said to her, the name of the biscuit at Red Lobster is Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's what they're called. They're famous. They sell them in stores. You can buy them now, the mix, everything. It's a thing. And so I said, oh, taking a trip to Cheddar Bay, huh? And she looks at me and she turns to me and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think that's why Melanie and I get along so well.
It's a daily thing that I also say to Cole. So
What?
I feel
Oh, that phrase?
what she said to you.
And so I'm like, I'm laying this out to her just how I did to you. I'm like, Red Lobster, Cheddar Bay, hello, this is the thing, and internet, everybody loves it,
Right.
Cheddar Bay. She's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. These are Bisquick cheddar biscuits. And I was like, and so instantly, drawing on being trapped in the studio alone, I'm like getting into my head. I was like, oh, you've never been? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, if it were up to me, I'd take an old trip to Cheddar Bay. And I just start
Get those
In my
biscuits.
John boat.
drawing this old sea captain out who wants to talk about his time where he lived. Well, it was a dark day in Cheddar Bay. It's not like, and you can instantly see in her face, she's like, no. He's making a thing. This one moment I'm going to have to hear about Cheddar Bay for the next 6 years.
Dude, I bet your kids love that Cheddar Bay voice, though. Have they heard it?
Hates it. What? Hates it.
I thought he would
Nolan
love
says,
it.
"Daddy, stop."
So that
Like,
night,
sweet boy.
I'm lying, I'm story time with my son. He's like, Daddy, you need to read me a story. And I'm going through all the
Have I
books.
told you about Cheddar Bay?
Going through all the books. Do you want to read Pete the Cat? No.
No.
Do you want to read Paw Patrol?
No.
Do you want to read Mickey Mouse Birthday?
Hell
No.
yeah.
I went
Just
through
kidding.
17 books. He didn't want to read
favorite.
any of them. And I was like, well, I don't know about you, but if it were up to me, I'd take an old trip to Cheddar Bay. And he looks at me like, what? I was like, oh, yes, it's an entire town made out of cheese.
Wait, this sounds like a good story. Can you just tell us?
Yeah.
Long time ago, schooner, my old ship, the Merryweather, we were sailing the high seas, got stuck in an old bay, Cheddar Bay. I started to make a whole story. I can't even remember.
You should
that.
write children's books.
I made a whole story.
An audio children's book.
And he just gets to the end. He's like, no,
That's my boy.
no town made out of cheese. And so then one night we went on a walk. Because sometimes I'll take him on a walk at night to kind of calm him down, to show him that it's nighttime, that he needs to go to sleep. And so there happened to be a
Cole does the same thing to me.
There happened to be like some street lights fairly far away behind some bushes. And I go, Nolan, there it is. What? Cheddar Bay. Can you see it?
You're the worst.
So,
I love how you've created this character and everyone in your family hates it.
hates it. And just by myself, this is the truth about me. By myself, in my house, by myself. That is what I'm just saying over and over, working on the intonation, working on how it sounds.
But it also comes out in ridiculous Facebook posts that you tag me in. That
What? So you had no context whatsoever about Captain Cheddar.
in his head creates these weird things and then is like, I'm going to edit this picture of John Bon Jovi and make a post that makes absolutely no sense. And then in the comments, I'm going to tag Jen. And I
saw
almost
that.
typed out the exact phrase your lovely wife said, but I kept it PG for the Facebook. But publicly, I asked you, what is wrong with you on said Facebook post?
I did. That was another example of the same sickness that afflicts my head, which is that I like to mess with song lyrics. And because it just is funny.
Yeah.
And so I took
I have the screenshot.
I took John Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name.
Here is what he wrote and tagged me in. This is John Jovi, spelled John with an H, not how he spells it. His dream is to rewrite his iconic song, Shot to the Heart, with new lyrics to inspire everyone during the pandemic. But Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Pfizer keep pulling it down because they don't want you to know the truth. Please share this iconic message for 2020 while you still can. So then it's a picture of John from a music video in his white mic stand, and it says, I took a fart, and it spelled your name. Poo in glove is your game.
I took a fart and it spelled your name. Poo in glove is your game.
And again, what is
The king of
wrong
parodies.
with you?
You're literally insane. Like a psycho. Crazy person.
I'm like, did Dan start drinking again?
I
Like,
believe so. He
what
kept
is-
talking about Coors Light, which I will get to that in a minute.
Yeah, so that's my story. That's a little bit about who I am at home and what my family's
You
been
know you're
dealing with.
wild when you're too wild for your 6-year-old.
I know. Like the 6-year-old with
He's like,
special
Dad,
needs.
calm down.
The 6-year-old with special needs on the spectrum who loves to go off on tangents is like, dude, chill out. Come back to earth, Dad.
Melanie's gonna like stab him, and the police are gonna show up, and she's gonna play him this clip of the podcast. So they'll be like, justifiable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Got
moving
it.
on.
You're free to go.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
Who wants to go next? That's enough of me.
I was already going to kind of tell this story. Since the beginning of the shutdown, my dreams have gotten even weirder. Like, I always have weird dreams, but they're getting to be like post-apocalyptic superhero-y.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Like, I had this dream the other night, and I was like in Costco, and there was like dead bodies and shooting, and then the police showed up and everything disappeared, but then I like snuck back in and I found it again, and all of my dreams have been really stressful murder mystery superhero shoot 'em up movies. And
Shoot 'em up movies.
shoot 'em up movies.
That's such a 90s term.
I know.
A shoot 'em up.
Well, I'm a
Starring
90s
Bruce Willis.
exactly.
TBS used to have a feature they ran called Movies for Guys Who Like Movies.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
You're like, I actually like short films. Do you have something for me?
So I Googled like pandemic dreaming, and apparently it's a thing, and they've
Wow.
been doing studies on it. And your dreams reflect your anxieties that you have in real life. So when you're put in more like either more stressful situations or weird things are going on, your dreams will get more intense and more strange. So I know I've had a bunch of weird ones. Does anyone else like notice that their dreams have been weirder and more like intense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I already have weird dreams,
Yeah, I have weird dreams.
but
Can
they've
you
been getting
give
at
me
him.
any taste of
They're
what that's
actually
like?
very similar to Jen's, like where I'm like fighting off zombies and it's like a post-apocalyptic world and stuff. I've been having those a lot
Wow.
lately.
Yeah, the day after I had the morning I woke up and I was like, man, I had this really weird dream, and was like kind of thinking about it. And then you forget things throughout the day,
Yeah.
you know? But then it was like, got home from work and Katie was like, do you want to go to Costco? And I couldn't be like, well, no, because I'm concerned I might have a panic attack because I had a
Foreboding.
weird dream.
Yeah.
So I went to Costco. And like the first like 10 minutes, I was like really stressed out to be in Costco. And I was like looking around.
What?
Katie's like, Are we going to look at the clothes? And I was like, oh, I'm just going to walk over here.
You're like by yourself in the TV section.
I'm like making sure I can get like my back to a wall and have a full view of this store.
I just need to walk the whole perimeter of the store first, and then we can go get some free samples. Oh, they canceled those. Oh.
Yeah, so that's my little story, is that my bizarre and weird dreams have multiplied by 10, and they give me anxiety of going into Costco, which is my favorite store.
I'm trying to think if I want to give
Used
you
to
a
be your
great
happy place.
dream, like that I can say this happened, but they always just, I wake up and they're like, yeah, they're right there, and then it's just.
And as soon as you
slip
get in
away.
the shower, they're gone. Like, why can't I have dreams that, like, I went on a nice fancy date with Harry Styles? Like, those are dreams I would like, putting that out there in the universe.
I definitely have dreams where I'm on the run, and I'm being chased.
Like Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, and like you're trying to accomplish something like on the run. Like we gotta.
That's a lot of mine, yeah.
Like the onslaught of like trying to do something, and running dreams are always a disaster because your legs like are trying to move, and so I constantly are having dreams where it's just like you're literally. Your legs are like.
It's almost like your legs are stuck in Velcro or something like that.
Concrete,
Yeah.
like that. So you can't actually run, but I have those.
I've had a couple, and I think it's because we didn't have country summer this year, and my brain is like, well, something had to have happened at country summer, so I've had a handful of country summer nightmares. Meet and greets going terribly wrong, or like an artist deciding that they're mad and they're not going to play. Like,
Oh my goodness.
oh yeah, they're not fun.
I'll have these terrible dreams, and I've started to learn that I can actually shake myself out of them. And so like, I'll be like, hold on. These 7 people are all dead. That seems a little abnormal. I wonder if it's a dream. And I start like
Does it
shaking
like
my head.
suck you out of the dream?
Yeah, and it wakes me up.
Cool.
I've been able to do that before.
So then what happens in real life is when real bad stuff happens, like the wildfire, like Tubbs fire, I literally like trying to shake myself out of it. I'm like, Inception,
not a
which
dream.
level of the dream am I in
Yeah.
right now? Didn't work that time.
Didn't work.
I'm notorious for
sad.
not having dreams. I never have dreams. It's like strange when I do. And I've really only had one dream during this where I was stuck in a white room and I was wearing all black, and I was very cognizant
In
of
the white room.
That's exactly
with
what I was
the
thinking.
black suit. Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Maybe I heard that like earlier in the day or something like that. But I was so chill in the dream, and I was like, wow, this kind of sucks. I wish I had my phone. That was the whole dream, and I woke up.
Away in this place, I wish I had my phone.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
that was pretty good. Yeah.
EC?
What?
What?
Air Quantum.
Oh.
It's cream. I know it's cream. Okay.
The only
just started
reason why you
sweating.
wrote that parody is because cream rhymes with dream.
Little backstory on that.
Shots fired.
Wow, that was worth it.
Someone told Tanner that the only reason he did there was a squirrel was because it rhymed with girl.
And that is 100% true. But yeah, dreams have been kind of wild. My girlfriend's been having wild dreams. Wild dreams where she'll like wake up on the other side of the bed. Remember when you were a kid and you'd like sleep like their toes would be here and your face would be right there? You'd flip it. My girlfriend's been sleeping like that lately, and I don't know why. She says she
You got
helps her
stank
sleep.
breath, dude.
I know.
Sorry, what?
In the middle of the night, you like your feet end up on your pillow, and
Yeah,
your head ends up.
head's
at
on the bottom of the.
I wake up
Oh,
every
How does that happen?
Oh, I used to do that all the time. As
I
a
have
kid.
no idea, but I wake up to like blue toenails right next to my face every day.
Look, he asked her like in front of me, and she was just like, "Why do you care? It's none of your business." Like I was like, oh, "Whoa!"
And I was like, "Oh, just asking."
It's like obviously this is really sensitive material, Tanner. Anyway,
Wow.
and it's
Wow.
interesting. I told him that they need to turn their mattress because she's probably uncomfortable. So like Cole and I flip our mattress or turn our mattress every 6 months.
I can't even imagine how you would do that. And I mean, how small is the bed?
It's a queen. I'm so confused. I almost want to like put a surveillance camera in my
Yeah.
room, but that's like kind of creepy.
I wanted to download this app that like tracks your sleep, but it records you, and I was like, "Look, I don't know about that."
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
see poltergeist above me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Go in on like the audio recording? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because there I would be sleeping.
I'll probably blow out the microphone with my snoring.
I don't know about you, But if it were up to me,
This is John Jovi.
Cheddar Bay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go if that's cool.
No, I want to go. Just kidding. I still have a story. What's the theme again?
Quarantine.
It's like a story from Quarantine that's like a wacky, like I gave my boyfriend a haircut story.
Go for it, Tanner.
My wacky story is that my girlfriend and I have been going on a lot of drives since this pandemic started. It's been a way for us to almost be like, okay, we have time to go explore Sonoma County, see everything that we can. So we've been going to like Sacramento, which I know isn't in Sonoma County. We've been kind of just going all over the place. We decided to go to Bodega Head last Friday, and we drove out there from Healdsburg. And you know the stop sign that you turn right and you're on like the Bodega Bay Highway or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I'm familiar with Bodega Bay, but there is another bay I'm very familiar with.
So
Cheddar Bay.
I see the stop sign, and
I hate you.
You see how easy you can work it in once you commit.
I'm gonna start doing it now. Maybe I'm Captain Cheddar. Sorry, go ahead, Tanner.
so I took a right onto Bodega.
Oh, you're talking about the stop sign
Yes.
that takes you from like kind of the highway to that weird Bodega Head road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So I turn there, and I see a highway patrolman to the right with his lights on. I was like, ha ha, that sucks. Someone got pulled over. Cop runs into the roadway, waves his arms, tells me to pull over. And I was like, what? And then so I pull over, and he goes, it's a pretty big stop sign that you just missed. And in my mind, my smart ass self just went, pretty sure it's a normal size stop sign. So I didn't say it out loud, but that's the first place my mind went. And so I'll wrap around to the rest of the story, but I went back to the stop sign, and it was a giant stop sign.
How did you not see it?
The stop sign was like 8 feet big, and I was like, okay, it was
Fair.
a pretty big stop sign.
Fair. Wait, the cop was already pulling somebody else over ahead of you?
No, it was like a trap kind of thing. Like he was pulled over and just like
Gotcha.
watching people miss this big ass stop sign.
And then he
apparently.
waved you down on foot?
on foot. It was
On
the
foot?
Oh.
Cheddar Bay.
I only have one foot. The other is a peg leg.
Made out of Gouda.
But yeah, so he pulled me over and he was like, a license and registration place. And I was like, why are you talking like that? He didn't talk like that. And so I like gave him everything, and then someone else like did the same thing I did, totally blew past it. And so these two cars were together, and the first car sped off. They were like, I'm not getting pulled over in Cheddar Bay. And they went ahead, but the second person like pulled over, and the cop was like yelling at this person. He went back to his car, came out, and then he was like, hold this. And he like threw his giant notebook of like all of like his ticket infractions. It's like, this thing's like a foot. You've seen these
It's like
before.
a metal box, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So he tossed it in my car, and I was holding it, and I was like, why did he tell me to hold this?
Why did he hold me?
Why did he hold me? I'm so confused. Just kidding. But he just, I look back at him, and he just goes, yep. Pulls his pants up and takes it back. And I was like, what is happening? I don't know. I was like, is this a California
Wait,
thing?
is it a sheriff or was it a police officer?
It was,
Somebody CHP.
yeah,
CHP.
CHP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was just so confused, and he was like, I'm going to let you go.
Whoa!
This is like a scene out of Super Troopers.
Yeah. I seriously, I was like, does the schnozberries taste like schnozberries? I don't know what is happening.
All right, meow.
So when he threw the book at you, literally,
Literally.
was that because he was trying to get to somebody else who blew the sign?
No, he just wanted to pull his pants up. He just went and pulled his pants up.
Hold this.
And he needed some, I don't know if I was like, is this a power move?
I feel like that's not the worst thing that happened.
Like, I was like, I'm not one to, like, question authority. Like, you win,
We know.
dude. I was like, you had me at big-ass stop sign. And so it was
Pretty
just,
big stop sign.
it was the strangest whole situation. And after, like, I went back on the road, I was like, looked at my girlfriend. I was like, did that just happen? What is going on? And I was thrown off for the rest of the day.
The weirdest thing is on foot. Literally, is he just gonna be like, "It's a pretty big bank you robbed over there"?
Yeah.
hey, over here, like waving him down.
So it's still a pretty big road, this road you turn on. He went to the middle of the road and just started waving his arms. I was like, dude, if I was like texting and driving or not paying attention or trying to tie my shoelace, you'd be dead right now, my dude.
As an officer of the law, not a great time to be putting yourself at the mercy of people. Because people not loving law enforcement right now. I can't believe it.
He was right on the big-ass stop sign, and I was just, can I have, like, a hand sanitizer? Like, we're kind of in the middle of a pandemic right now, dude.
He, like, Men in Blacks you, but with the
Sanitizer.
yeah. I can't think of what that thing's called. Phaser beam. No, that's not it. I'll
But
think of it later.
To be fair, he cut you a break.
he did, but only because I didn't have my California license yet. I had the interim license because I just went and got my license.
But
and
at least you have insurance.
But at least I have insurance. And he said, apparently, so if you
What's
have
insurance?
your if you have your interim license, if you get a ticket while you have that, it's like a way bigger fine.
Huh.
And he said, I'm not going to make you do that. You look like a nice kid. And I was like,
Wow.
thanks,
Kid.
Dad.
Cut
Said,
you
I'm
a-
a
you
grown
probably thought
man.
you were 16 at first.
Probably.
he cut you a huge
Yeah,
break.
it is.
He did. And he was nice. I think the only reason why that he let me off, because he was, when he first left my car, like with all my stuff, I was like, this guy's totally giving me a ticket. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that's going to like try to debate officer out a ticket. I'm just like, I did what I did. And like when he said what I did, and I was like, yeah. But the only reason he let me go is because he was so mad about those two cars I was talking about earlier. And one sped off and one pulled over. And he was so mad about that. That's why he let me go.
Wow.
And I was like, that's bizarre.
Well, let's do him a solid because clearly he cares about the safety of that particular intersection.
That's what I said.
So we're spreading the word on the podcast.
Yeah.
Officer, pull my pants up. Thank you so much for cutting Tanner a break.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
You the best.
There was one thing. So he had to look at my Washington license, and he said, well, stop signs work the same here as in Washington.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
also,
like
I was
it.
Can we
pulling
get him
away.
on the show?
funny.
Yeah. He was a character, man. I seriously thought I was in a sitcom.
Love it.
Welcome to my life.
CHP, if you got the bodega beat, call me up.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
We want your side of the story.
Okay, quarantine, right? That's the theme. I have been
It's a
spending.
corn theme.
Quarantheme.
Jeez Louise.
Cheese, Louise.
I've been saving that one. Okay. All right.
What kind of cheese? Like
Blue.
Jack or
Blue.
Swiss?
Brie.
Like a yellow cheese?
American.
Cheddar.
Swiss. I can
Parmesan.
go on. Ooh.
Cheddar.
Okay. Guys.
I'm thinking about cheese. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about cheese.
Cheddar? Cheddar?
Literally.
What is going
I'm going
on?
to leave. Okay.
Cheddar?
Okay, so quarantine. Cole's back to work. Spending a tremendous amount of time alone with my dog, and what's there to do other than watch TV? And I just decided I was tired of the traditional TV shows and, same old jazz. So I'm looking on Hulu, and it's like TV for you, and it's like Psychic Kids, and I'm like, yep. I think I will, Hulu, thanks. So I binged like the whole season. It's a brand new season. Okay, I binged the whole season in a day. Like I had nothing to do on Saturday. Okay,
Like 25 episodes, 10 episodes? What's the season?
12 episodes, I believe.
That's good. It's significant.
It's significant. So
It's half the day.
luckily, your wife knows about Psychic Kids. So Psychic Kids, Kids. What am I saying? Kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids was a show like in
Gigabytes.
2008 and 2009 ish.
So
Those kids grew up and now they're mentoring these new generation of psychic kids.
Wow.
And I was watching it and I was like, am I psychic? I think I could be. So I'm sitting there like all day and I'm like psyching myself out. And I was like, man, I'm feeling some like energy, some like spirits in my apartment. Like, should I tune in? And then I started like pretending like I was tuning into the spirits. And then I started to really creep myself out, like feel really uneasy. And then I like turned on like Iron Man that night to try to go to bed, but I felt like there
You
was
go to
like a
bed to Iron
hovering.
Man?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of something like cool and not like deathly frightening, like Poltergeist or something. I don't know. And I'm laying in bed and I just like my back is heavy and I feel like I'm seeing things and like flashing faces. And I text Cole and I'm like, can you come home early? I don't feel safe. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, just feeling really uneasy tonight. So I'm going to have to take a break on like Psychic Kids, scary stuff in quarantine because, again, spending a lot of time alone and thinking I'm psychic and I might absolutely go crazy. Like, I thought about calling my therapist for a second, and I was like, is there something wrong with me to believe that I can talk to ghosts?
That's amazing.
But yeah, now I'm sweating.
But I like
Probably the bad energy.
I like. That's one of the reasons. One of the things I like about you, Amber, is that your heart and your mind are open to new things. Like there are some people, it's truly, that you even were like, "Am I this?" Like where there are
Be
some,
careful, guys.
But there are some
Don't
people
do
who are
it.
just so jaded and shut down. They just are just not in. They're not interested in other people, other things, other topics. They know everything. I've created my echo chamber. Amber's like, y'all, I don't know. I might have to flip this house. You like to tune in to other people. You like that. You like learning. You like new experiences. You like new stuff. I think it's cool. It speaks to you.
About me trying to find the fourth dimension?
Yes.
Okay. I could see it. I did read like a book on it last night, so.
So when you're tapping into your energy or your medium zone, or I don't know what you're supposed to call it, what did you pick up?
I feel
In
like
your
this
mind,
could be a whole separate podcast.
What did you feel? Did you see, hear, feel?
Dude, it's
Did it
not.
smell
I
like
just,
cinnamon
I just
or
want
cheddar?
everyone to know it's not real. But you can like literally psych yourself out because sometimes I'll get really creeped out and like think I feel something and like my shoulders and back and stuff get heavy, and sometimes I even feel like a tingle on my back. But I'm
Yeah.
literally just creeping myself out. That's all it is.
I do the same thing when I have headphones, when I'm using my AirPods and I'm doing the dishes and like I hear something on the other side of the apartment. I'm like, is someone in here? Is it kind of that same psychic?
Don't talk to it. Apparently, talking to these fake spirits makes it worse, according to psychic kids.
Imagine if there's a spirit and you're like, Charles, and then Charles was like, "Suh, dude."
Chad. It would be Chad.
Why are our spirits always like, I'm Benjamin Theodore?
They're always from like the 1800s.
I know.
Why aren't there any current ghosts?
So I have a
Like Chad that worked at Blockbuster in the 90s.
I have a theory. It has to do with building materials. That the building materials that they used in like the 1800s trap spirits better than all the synthetic stuff they do now.
I can tell that this is a real theory you have.
Yeah, because it's never like a Domino's pizza that was built in 2006
Yeah.
that's haunted. Never.
Like
it's
you ne-
always a creepy Victorian house.
You don't feel haunted energies around IKEA furniture.
Never.
Okay.
I
it's
had a
because
ghost in my last apartment.
Really?
Oh yeah,
people died in really brutal ways back in the day, and that's why.
that.
You could argue then that actually, as much as today is supposed to be so awful, the lack of newer ghosts is showing that people are actually more fulfilled in making it to the other side.
Lack of newer
I haven't seen a new ghost in,
band name, I
Well,
call it.
maybe it's the 4G, the 5G that's
Oh,
blocking the
that's right.
spirits
That's,
from
oh,
us.
that's what it is. They're actually the ones who are providing all the data.
Yes.
Wait, so Jen, you had a ghost
That's how
in...
the coronavirus got started because of 4G.
China.
I want to hear about this ghost at Jen's place.
It was a very friendly
Okay,
ghost.
yeah.
Well,
I got time.
Tell me everything.
It was in my space, and
It was just like,
would-
I also love Criminal Minds.
No, like I would see it usually in the middle of the night.
No way.
It woke me up one time. Like I physically felt it touch me.
You were in a bad spot.
No, but it wasn't like ominous or felt
Mm-hmm.
evil. Just was like, hey, by the way, I'm here.
Wow.
And
Are
can
you sure?
Can you give a
I feel
general
like if they touch you, that means it's a demonic presence.
give an idea to a listener where like what location we're talking about? Is this Guerneville or Pengrove or
Roanoke Park.
Yeah,
G
baby.
section, H section,
GH section.
GH.
Yep, near the pool.
It stands for ghost houses.
I mean, it was an older apartment complex.
G section.
G section.
Gouda section. You know,
Jeez Louise.
There is no C section in Roanoke Park. It's kind of weird.
when I was like 13, I thought our apartment had a ghost, and I was convinced. I was like, there's a freaking ghost in this apartment. Turns out there's rats in our walls.
Cole had a squirrel. We named him Kevin.
Never
also thought it was
interacted.
a
I've never officially interacted with a ghost ever.
Yeah. At first, it kind of like threw me off, but it was never like a bad situation. My wife still doesn't believe me, but
That is actually, though, my goal if I ever become a millionaire, billionaire. In therapy, I've talked to my therapist about this, where they'll be like, well, if you could do anything in the world, if you inherited $1 billion, what would you do?
I would go to Cheddar Bay.
I would build an entire town out of cheese.
I'll take your curd for it.
I would.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
I would start, I would find out what's being done in that space, and I would 100% try to prove if ghosts are real or not.
Would you be one of those people that would have a reality show that would be like, the Doppler's going off, the Doppler's going off?
Okay, that show, Ghost Adventures, is hilarious because the one dude always hates the other dude. The guy's like, the Doppler's going off. It's like, Nick, shut up! Nick, shut up!
That would
yelling
honestly
at
be
Nick.
Amber and I if we ever had a ghost show. I'd be the Doppler guy.
If we're going with a cheese themed Doppler show, we should call it We Relieve and Ghost. Was that a stretch? Sorry.
Yes. That was
Taylor loves it.
too far. Too far.
You better relieve it.
It wouldn't be a show. It would just be me spending billions of dollars trying to prove if ghosts are real or not. And then once we do prove it's real, try to show why they've been keeping it from us. Because clearly they know.
Because
it's
humans
real.
are the worst. There's your answer.
Why is there never a ghost squirrel or a ghost possum? Why is it always humans?
I was thinking about that literally last night.
How privileged are we that we get ghosts, but I don't know, maybe a caterpillar was a ghost or a butterfly once upon a time.
We were talking on the show today about Demon Cat. Do you guys know about Demon Cat?
No.
We don't have time. But there is a demon cat or a ghost cat that haunts the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Or they say. Mm-hmm. It's on Amber's Unsolved Mysteries. Don't worry, you guys can tune in every week.
I love that.
I just don't. I mean, the whole thing is weird to me. It's literally when people die, it's just accepted that they're just gone. It's well, they're gone. Especially when it's natural causes. It's what happened to Dave? Natural causes. Poof. Everyone's just well, that's what happens. All right, what are we doing next? Let's go. Let's launch an investigation. Where are they going? What is happening?
I wish there was a TV show that every single episode was a murder mystery show that were how did they die? Unnatural causes.
Oh, wow. That could air on our cable network after Cheddar Bay.
Yes. I love it.
Let's wrap it up, y'all. Thank you so much for being in the room, for being close. We're distant. We're doing it right, but it's still good to be here. It's good to be able to talk to everybody and be vibing.
And this is going to be a lot easier to edit.
That's the most important part.
Yes.
As always, if this is your first time checking us out, make sure you subscribe on any platform that you're listening to, and hit us with a review, too. We love reviews. We read them on the air. Can't say we've gotten one in a while.
And the first person to comment something cheddar-related, I will Venmo you $2.50.
And if you feel like commenting something bad, then you can just
Keep it.
mind your own cheese wax and move on. Sorry. I just want to
We
put that
will
one in
see
there.
you next week. Inside Cheddar Bay 92.9.
Inside Froggy 92.9 with Jen, Dano, and Amber and Tanner in the morning. Hit subscribe now if you haven't already. And stay up to date with the team on Instagram or Facebook. Follow at Froggy929. Inside Froggy 92.9 from Amaturo Sonoma Media Group.